2 seconds. One. We're live.
What's up, true believers, and welcome to the penultimate place to get your Marvel news, fireside chats on all things Marvel, and our MCU reviews. This is episode 41 of the Marvel Mondays initiative here at the Penultimate Conquest, and today's topic is our discussion of Thor Ragnarok. If you're listening on your favorite podcast service, please feel free to give us a good rating on that platform. It helps the algorithms and helps us grow our audience. If you're watching this on YouTube, please consider dropping a like and a sub, and don't forget hit the bell to get notifications for all our shows like the Penultimate Game Show, the Cross Media Show, and Anime Nation. If you're watching this on Twitch and have Amazon Prime, you have Prime Gaming, which means you have one free sub to give out, and we would love it if you give it to us, but if not, that is quite all right. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Eric Ginn, your friendly neighborhood host for the evening, and alongside me today is the master of cinema himself, Christian Macias. Christian, how are you?
I have two things to say. One, can't wait for the Batman. Two, thank you, Miyazaki.
That's right. Batman and Elden Ring. Big things happening this week. Batman reviews dropped today. Stellar. Some are calling it the greatest comic book movie ever made. Ruben,
Wow,
what do you
that's
think about
crazy.
that?
That's crazy. It's crazy, like people forget that the great Christopher Nolan gave us 3 great films.
All right.
It's insanity. How you doing today, Eric?
I'm doing good. And to answer your question, Christopher Nolan gave us an amazing movie, a very good movie, and it was a good movie. So
What was the
that's
very
better.
good movie?
Oh, the very good is Dark Knight. The amazing one is
You're
Batman Begins.
insane.
I love Batman Begins so
Batman
much.
Begins is
Begins-
the best Batman movie so far.
They're both
live action.
They're both very high tier for me.
I just prefer the
Sure.
psychological horror side that comes with Batman.
Yeah, no,
Begins.
you're definitely right. I'm not taking away from Batman Begins. It's very, very sinister. And now I gotta
Plus,
watch
the Dark
it.
Knight's third act is not that great.
I would have to disagree.
Either way, we're not here to talk Batman, Ruben.
You're right.
Although maybe later we'll talk Batman.
Riddle me this, Ruben.
Ha!
I don't have a riddle.
And of course, that other voice you heard is our director himself, Mr. Ben Guerrero. See, I did it this time.
Thank
for
you.
him.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Good. How are you doing, man? Your new place is looking good.
It's looking good. I might need a third.
Well, yeah, I don't think you need
Bookcase.
a broadcast
third?
that on this show,
A
Ruben.
third-
I mean,
A
why
third
not?
bookcase. A third bookcase. Get your head out of the gutters, guys. Jesus. As you can see to my left and my right, my DVDs are like fucking stacked.
There
in
you go again. Saying that word.
Sorry, my
DVDs.
steelbooks. My steelbooks are fucking. My Blu-rays and steelbooks are fucking stacked over there, and it's not how I want it to be. But we got the MCU in there, so that's all that matters.
My first DVD was Jurassic Park 3. I remember it. We got a DVD player, and then we got Jurassic Park 3. And as an 11-year-old kid, dinosaurs are great. When you get older, you get like, this movie is not good.
My first
So-
DVD was Fantastic Four from
Oh.
2005.
The Chris Evans.
Flame On.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great movie.
Okay, nice.
Okay, all right. We understand. It's nostalgia for me. I'm okay with that.
Before we get into the news and our talk of the show, a little housekeeping here for the channel. We are in the middle of review season here for the spring, which is wild to think about. Christian put his Sifu review up a few weeks ago. Please go check that out on our YouTube. I am in the middle of working through Horizon right now, so I'm going to have that review whenever I get it, being a new dad and everything. I don't have a lot of time like I used to play games for 8 hours in a row. So I will get that up when it gets up. That's what's going to happen. And
That's fine.
Ryan is smack dab in the middle of his Elden Ring playthrough to get that Elden Ring review for you guys. Man, that Elden Ring is hot right now.
You have no
Everyone,
idea.
everyone talking about it. I can't wait to play. My copy's supposed to be coming in today, but I digress.
Two quick
Ruben,
things.
what's up, Christian?
One, just thank you for the support everyone has shown love on the Sifu review. It's like over 300 views, so like
Whoa.
that's very nice. But two, I'm also working on a new video for March for the channel, so
This guy, the powerhouse.
be on the lookout. Yeah, we'll see. I'm also playing a lot of video games.
It's fine.
Ruben, correct me if I'm wrong. You guys are doing Peacemaker Season 1 recap this week for Cross Media, right?
We could use one more person for Peacemaker. Peace Walker,
you
whatever
like,
the fuck it's called.
if you like, now you got me saying Peace Walker for our Metal Gear podcast. If you like Peacemaker season 1 and you want to be on the show, hit Ruben up at That Guy Tuesday on Twitter, and come be on the show. Tell us why you like John Cena so much. Also this week's Conquest. I love this new thing Ruben told us about before the show. I love the name. This week's Conquest is Ruben is going back into the Forbidden West and streaming some Horizon Forbidden West some more. And, he attacks these robot dinosaurs, and he's typing this as I'm talking, Aloy's mom. Well, Ruben, if you would have played the first game,
Who
you
knows?
would have known.
Who knows?
You would know who Aloy's quote-unquote
It
mom
just
is.
upsets me. I'm sorry for spoilers for Horizon Zero Dawn.
Five-year-old game.
It upsets me that her name is Elizabeth and not Elizabeth. That's all I'm saying.
Just
add an
suspend the
H.
disbelief a little bit.
Just add an H.
That name is very real. So what?
No other way.
It is, but like for an American, okay. All right, that's fine.
Okay.
But we'll find out if she's actually Aloy's mom.
Oh my god. And also this week, the Anime Nation guys are attacking. Oh my god, I can't believe I did that. Attacking Attack on Titan with more episodes. Apparently it's good. That's what I hear.
Worst season. Just kidding. Probably the best season.
Probably the most entertaining season I've ever seen of anime. That's not true. Jobless.
You have never watched Food Wars, then?
I have not watched Food Wars.
That gets intense.
I'm more into.
I do want to watch Food Wars.
It's really good.
I'm more into isekais. So.
You're what guys? You're into what guys?
Isekais. So like,
Nice.
I've died and I've gone into a video game world.
Oh,
Yeah.
like
Ruben,
the
are you
Sword
excited?
Art Online.
That's like the worst one, I would say.
SAO rocks. The first season of SAO.
First season is great. Yes,
Yeah.
and then they go crazy with it, and
Yeah.
Am I excited for what, Christian?
Forspoken, the game. Kind of
Hell
nice
yeah,
guy.
man! And guess what, Eric? Guess what comes out this week?
Gran Turismo.
Triangle Strategy, and watch it
that's
soar
right.
the fucking roof. All right,
That's right.
I'm excited. Did you
I
see how
haven't
many?
heard anything about it.
Did you see how many points I got off for Destiny 2? 20 points.
Oh, I didn't know. What? Are you for real?
20 points, yeah.
I got that many.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I have to check this real
I
quick.
got to double check, but I'm pretty sure I'm
checking it right now.
When I checked it, it was 20
Ben,
points.
fill some time.
Are you gonna be playing Ligma?
Nah, I don't play Ligma. I heard that's a very dirty game,
Destiny 2, I got 19 points from it.
Yeah,
Shit.
man.
Oh my God.
I was in second place, and then you got the Destiny 2 stuff, and it dropped me all the way down.
I was only supposed to get like 6 points for that. Oh my God.
It's crazy. But it's okay. You want to know why?
Why?
I have literally 5 games coming out in the next month and a half. I got Lego
Thank
Star
God I'm not
Wars. Lego Star Wars, the Skywalker Saga. Hopefully, fingers crossed, it's supposed to hit. It says
gold.
here.
It's April 5th.
Exactly. April 5th. Then I have, like I said, Triangle Strategy on this Friday. Then I have Kirby and the Forgotten Land 325. And everybody loves Kirby. You know it. You just know it. Ghostwire Tokyo. I'm not too sure about this game. It doesn't look good. I always get this confused with Ghost Runner for some reason. Thinking like, didn't that game already come out?
Odd.
Yeah, it's very
Ghost Runner's going to be a free PS Plus game.
Yeah.
Just want to play it. It's really good.
Yeah. So it's exciting stuff. It's exciting
Yeah, I
stuff.
can't believe I got that many points for Witch Queen. That's awesome.
I know. It's fucking insane. Should not
Hey,
have gotten
people
it.
like that Destiny. All right. Housekeeping out of the way. Let's get into the Marvel news of the week. And a little slow. I just got some fun things. So the new Morbius trailer came out, and it's very okay. That's about it. That's all I
Okay.
can say.
I'm tired of seeing fucking trailers for this movie. And I've been seeing trailers for like 3 years at this point. I'm exaggerating.
It's been
It's a year and a
about
half.
3 years since
Like,
we knew
come
about
on.
The first trailer, I think, came out January of 2020. So it's just
Yeah.
this movie's gonna come and go.
Enough.
And
Enough.
so
Oh,
we'll
I'm
pay.
sorry.
Ruben will review it for the channel. He'll go there and
My
watch
mic.
it.
No, I will not be watching that. My mic was muted for I don't know how long.
Okay. Other important news: No Way Home 4K. We finally have a release date, April 12th. It's very soon.
It's exciting.
Speaking of Spider-Man, Spider-Man got cake. Did you know this, Ruben? Did you hear about this?
No.
Are you gonna refer to like an ass?
Yeah. Of course
Apparently,
he is.
Ruben, did you know that one of the Peter Parkers wore a fake butt for No Way Home?
I didn't need to know that.
But Andrew said it was not Toby because he says he saw Toby's butt and Toby's got back. So,
Didn't
just
need
fun
to
little
know
news
that.
to throw.
So was
Who
it
wore a
Andrew?
fake ass?
Huh? I don't know. I don't know who.
It's got to be Benedict Cumberbatch.
It's one of those logic. It's one of those logic puzzles where you try.
Oh,
to
one of
figure
the
out
Peter
who's going to
Parkers.
get-
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
Speaking of Benedict Cumberbatch, you're right. He got his Hollywood star today.
Good.
That's
He
pretty
deserves
cool.
it. He deserves it.
Kevin Feige called him the center point for the MCU going forward. I'm like, I agree with that.
Yeah.
But anywho, Christian has something he would like to say. Christian, go ahead.
Yes, there were rumors circling the internet last week, which I didn't necessarily believe. The rumors were that a trailer was imminent for the fourth Thor movie, Thor: Love and Thunder, which is great because we're reviewing Ragnarok today. That week came and went. There was no trailer for Love and Thunder. My question to you folks is, when do we see it? Because honestly, I think Marvel Studios, as of lately, has been holding on to trailers closer and closer to release.
Yeah.
Love and Thunder isn't until when? Like November? Is that what the fall?
June or July.
That's a summer movie?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. It's got to
Oh,
be.
there's got to be. I take it back. There's got to be a trailer soon.
Nah.
Yeah.
Nah.
Right?
I'm saying.
Late March?
We will get a
Oh, no. Eric froze.
Oh, man. I really wanted to hear what he was going to say, too.
Say that again, Eric.
Oh, he's back.
I said I assure you we probably will get a trailer for Moon Knight.
I would
Comes out.
would hope that we get a trailer mid Moon Knight because it starts at the end of this month. Well, at the end of March. If I'm not wrong.
Wait, why are you guys talking about Moon Knight?
Because
No,
Moon
no.
Knight comes first.
What
It's
I'm
Moon
saying
Knight
is
then.
We
We already got a Moon Knight trailer.
No,
no,
I'm
no.
saying the show. The Moon Knight show starts March 25th, if I'm not mistaken.
March 30th.
March 30th. So I would like the trailer for Thor: Love and Thunder to come at least the midway point of
Like-
Moon Knight.
Mid-April is when you're thinking?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
Yeah.
actually, you know what? I would even say probably after Multiverse of Madness, but I know that's definitely not possible. I
No
know,
way.
I know it's not
There's
possible.
no way.
I mean, Marvel loves tying trailers to like big sporting events. What big sporting event is in March? Of course, March Madness. Is it that big? I don't know.
But ESPN does not have anything with to do with March Madness, so
Yeah,
they
isn't that
can't
college
do that.
basketball?
Yes,
That is college basketball.
Wow.
What I was saying, Christian, is that I think we're gonna get the trailer before Moon Knight starts. So like
Got
in
it.
March we're gonna get it because let's see, we had about 4 months. It was August 23rd, I think, when we got the first Spider-Man No Way Home trailer, and that's about 4 months out. So
Yeah.
it's
I think
July
March
8th.
is right. Yeah.
July 8th is Thor, but it's wild. Also, we're getting a Black Panther movie this year.
Yeah,
And
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't see.
And they're not
that
even done
happening.
with it yet.
I don't see that
Either way.
happening. They're gonna push that movie.
Oh my God! Also, did you see this? You know what? Never mind. We're not gonna. I'll tell you after the show.
Okay.
All right. No one's got anything further. It's time to get into our topic of the show, which is.
You can clip that.
It is time to talk about Thor Ragnarok. Thor Ragnarok released on November 3rd, 2017, with a budget of $180 million, box office $854 million. I want to point this out. A Thor movie made more money than a movie that had Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman, and The Flash, and the Justice League. A Thor movie made more than the Justice League that year, which is
No,
wild.
Whedon's Justice League.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Still,
that movie was not
like,
very good, was it?
yeah, like still, like though, we have a Justice League movie and a Thor movie, which was, at the time Thor was not very beloved, made way more. I thought that was wild.
So,
Uh,
just in context, Thor 1 made 449.3 million, and I believe, give me a second, let me get Dark
I
World.
think Dark World was like 650.
So, 644.8. Okay, so it rose up exponentially.
Definitely think the word of mouth with this movie helped a lot.
And I also think the change of director helped a lot.
Yes.
Speaking of director,
No more
directed by
Kenneth Branagh.
Taika Waititi directed this movie. Screenplay by Eric Pearson, Craig Kyle, Christopher L. Yost, which those guys had to help in Thor: Dark World. So talk about a glow up. All right, let's talk about before we get into these movies. Theater experience. Ruben, do you remember your theater experience for Thor
I
Ragnarok?
do. I went to Alamo Draft House and I got a nice mug oat that's probably up there somewhere. It was. I don't remember the theater experience itself. I just remember where I went. But
See
I
your
was.
Lion King mug. That's
Uh-huh.
really cool.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Mondo. Yes. But I would have to say that Thor Ragnarok really surprised me. Like, it
We'll
was.
do initial thoughts.
Okay. Okay. All right. That's fine.
Where's her bread? My bread bottle.
So
Should be in
Christian
her.
is getting something. What is
Should be
Christian
underneath the
getting?
changing table.
Yeah, I'm back.
If it's
What
not,
did
it's on
you
the
get?
table. Coffee
It
table.
referred to Eric's question, so I had to go find stuff.
Okay.
Oh man, I should have brought these out way earlier.
What did you get?
So for my theater experience, I forgot when I moved to Portland. I started going to the IMAX theaters here at the Regal, and this is back in the heyday when they would give out these like collectible physical IMAX cards. And so I have a ton of big blockbuster IMAX stuff. Most of it is Marvel. And we've already covered some of the movies beforehand, but the Thor Ragnarok one, since we're watching, we're talking about it today, I'll pull out the Thor Ragnarok one.
That's cool.
Oh, that
Great.
is pretty cool. That looks sick.
Yeah. So I mean, I have tons of these. Yeah, again, and most of them are Marvel. So yeah, that was my theater experience. Was a IMAX Regal here in the Portland area. It was awesome. Not much else to say. Love me my popcorn movies and IMAX.
Nice. That's a good cup.
Nice cup.
That is a good cup.
That's a good cup.
God, dude.
I remember my experience. Like when this movie came out, I was actually on vacation at Disney World, so I couldn't see it opening weekend.
It's very blurry,
And-
Christian.
And I think we went back and saw it right when we came back, and had a great time. Which leads into initial thoughts. I'm going to give you guys about a minute or two. Tell me what you think about Thor Ragnarok before we really get into nitty gritty. So, Christian, I'm going to start with you first this time. What do you think?
Thor Ragnarok is different in the best possible way, and you can tell that because of the trailer that released before the movie even came out. That is why I think this movie was so successful, is that you could tell this Thor was going to be way different from everything from its costume design, the locations, to the overall tone. And the moment you hit play, you're proven right, because Taika Waititi has a definite kind of style and demeanor in terms of like the way he wants actors to deliver lines. From the very first kind of lines that Thor's speaking, you can tell this is going to be a different movie in the best possible way. And Taika delivers. Like, what an amazing, finally, an actually great Thor movie. Like, there are like small issues that I have with it, but otherwise, I think this is like a fantastic ride from start to finish. And I don't feel its length. It's just funny, left and right, hilarious, and I think it does a really great job of further building Thor and Loki's character without like being too like slow and kind of serious about it. It's just like a lighthearted way with these warm-hearted elements just dispersed throughout. Great movie.
Nice. Ruben, what about you?
This movie was actually definitely everything Christian said was right on point. Like this movie, I hated Thor. Like up until this movie, like this movie changed the whole attitude I had towards Thor because I just didn't really understand why like we had Chris Evans, who was Captain America, who was like the 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 Boy Scout. We had Iron Man, who was like the jokester, and then we had Thor, who was just that guy.
Does mother know if you wear it?
Yeah, it just didn't fit up until this movie. This movie was phenomenal. I loved every second of it. I finally understand the relationship between Thor and Loki in this movie, you know? But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to perfect movie. Taika Waititi, perfection.
I really like this movie. I don't like it as much as the internet does. I think it's a very good movie. I think was a step in the right direction. I think there were way too many jokes in this movie. Some that don't land very much. But this movie has a lot of heart to it, which I think the first two Thor films were lacking, other than the Thor Loki stuff. So this is a really fun one. This is the one you can just put in the background and play. This is like Tessa's most watched Marvel movie because she just lets it play because it's colorful, it's funny, and it's just a fun adventure. So before we get further into our discussion, here is a word from our sponsors. This episode is brought to you by Buzzsprout. Podcasting isn't hard when you have the right partners, which is why we partnered up with Buzzsprout to help you succeed. Buzzsprout gets your show listened in every major podcast platform. To join over 100,000 podcasters already using Buzzsprout to get their message out to the world. You'll get a great-looking podcast website, audio players that you can drop into other websites, detailed analytics to see how people are listening, tools to promote your episodes, and more. Following the link in the description below lets Buzzsprout know we sent you. It gets you a $20 Amazon gift card if you sign up for a paid plan, and it helps support the show. Buzzsprout. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, going into discussing questions here. So I remember in 2014 when they announced this movie, this was supposed to be very different than the 80s buddy cop movie that we got. It was actually supposed to fit the
Really?
tone. Yeah, this was actually supposed to fit the tone of the Thor dream scene in Age of Ultron. Which I'd be interested to see what they could have done with that.
Yeah.
Because that would be kind of cool to make it look like, most Norse tales of Ragnarok. But I think this was the much better choice.
Yeah.
I think the route they took was much better because I even remember, I think, Chris Hemsworth was having trouble just like with the previous versions of Thor, and I think he said Taika Waititi really helped him recapture his love for the character, and now he loves doing it, and he's in a fourth movie, which is wild. Like, considering all the other movies that Thor would be the one to get 4 movies, that's insane.
Absolutely.
I was about to bring it up that Chris Hemsworth no longer wanted to be Thor anymore because it was like nobody was writing his character well, and he didn't like acting as him.
Mhm.
And yeah, Taika made him fall in love with the character all over again. And here we are. Like, this is like, I can't imagine Thor any other way now.
Yeah,
Than
exactly.
the way he is now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I like he's jokester now. He's got some jokes because I mean there has to be a little bit of brevity to all this, Shakespearean family drama. So, so my next question is
Hold on. I'm sorry.
oh, go ahead.
It's supposed to be a lot darker. The first thing I ever heard about Thor Ragnarok was that it was supposed to be, the rumor was that it was going to be a Thor and Hulk buddy cop movie,
Yeah.
which I think would have slapped just as hard as Ragnarok ended up being.
Because I
know what I'm
remember in the showcase, I remember like the Thor Ragnarok when we got trailers and promotions, it had like that 80s font and everything.
Yeah.
The first one, it looked more like, I remember it was like iron or something that was hammered away, and it had like Thor Ragnarok and like looking like lava. So either way, I think everyone is happy with the product that came out.
I also remember people have been when people first heard that it was going to be a Planet Hulk movie. Everybody was, for me, it sounded like everybody was in uproar. Like, oh, we don't need like Hulk and Thor in the same movie, like just do a Planet Hulk movie by itself. But of course, because
can't.
I know, yeah, because Universal owns the rights of Hulk, it's kind of impossible. Universal is just like, yeah, you guys, Universal has done what we want Sony to do with Spider-Man. Like, yeah, you guys do whatever the fuck you want with the character. Just make sure you give us the money.
I think if I'm not mistaken, like as long as he can't have a solo movie,
Yeah,
he can
Yep.
do anything. And like to be fair, I think the way they use Hulk is much better in the MCU now. I'm glad he doesn't have any more solo films. I think
all right.
him being like a side supporting role is much better for him.
Can I just say too, one of the strengths of Thor Ragnarok, for me, just because we're on the topic of Hulk, kind of reminded me of it. I think why I love it so much is that it's kind of our first sort of real introduction into getting like solo stories in the MCU, right? Like this is a Thor movie, but it uses supporting cast from other like MCU properties. Like we're getting another Avenger in it,
Yeah.
and like this is what kind of started like the sure Bucky is in like the Captain America movies as well, right? Or like Anthony Mackie, of course, but using another like existing Avenger or like another person that's in like in the MCU that don't normally interact with each other, like was a little bit unprecedented. And for Thor to kind of kick it off that way, I thought was awesome because it works. Like seeing these characters interact and go do something else, not related to like a big threat or like the Avengers, like just works. It's awesome.
I agree.
That's a good point. So I have my notes here, and I think I'm just going to pick and choose a random order what I'm going to do with since we're talking about this. What do you guys think, Ruben? I'm going to ask you. What do you think are the central themes of this movie? Like, what is this movie about to you?
So it's all about family. Somebody get Vin Diesel in this movie because, like, it's all about family in the best way. That we finally, for me, what I've wanted, you know, between Thor and Loki finally happens in this movie, where they just like, all right, we enough with the shitting around. Like, let's just do what needs to be done and let's try to see if we can fix this relationship because it's kind of fucked up. I've tried to kill you multiple times. There was a small alien invasion, blah blah blah. Shit happens. But I am very happy with how it went down. Like it was kind of sad for me to see Odin just like fucking glisten off into the sunset. I guess it was kind of sad for a character that I didn't really know. Like I had watched Thor 1 and 2 like right before seeing this movie because I was very hesitant against Thor 1 and 2. Is just they looked bad. I didn't want to watch them. But yeah, it works. It finally gets to the heart of the problems that the Odin sons have. Odin daughters.
Yeah, and this movie showed that Thor's a middle child.
Yeah.
So Thor's got middle child
It's true.
syndrome, which
Yep.
explains a lot. So Christian, same question to you. What do you think are the central themes of this movie?
Yeah, Ruben's spot on with like identifying the theme of family. All Thor movies I think end up being about family, but this one does it in a more interesting way. Like it's family, but tackling it in a more lighthearted way and a more open way. I feel like this is the first time we're seeing Thor and Loki act. Look, we know they're brothers, but we never really are shown that until Thor Ragnarok, and I see we're shown and told about it. We're told a little bit about it when Thor just offhand mentions it's a joke. It's just a joke line. It may even be like kind of improv, but it informs the identity, the theme of family because he's talking about like, oh yeah, when I was a little kid, he transformed into a snake, and then he turned back into Loki and said, oh, it's me, and he stabbed me. Like that's stupid. Like it's so funny because it's so stupid, but like it says so much about like how they were as children, and like you can compare to obviously how they act now. And then, of course, the other is what we're actually shown, which is let's get help. Like, no, we're not going to do that, and they end up doing it. Like, it's fantastic. Just what a different way to tackle a story about brothers. and it's just not. It's refreshing, is what it is.
Oh yeah, there's also a lot of, personal growth, I think, for Thor in this, especially like he gets,
Mhm.
he gets what I think is probably the best scene of the movie for me, even though, it's on some pretty noticeable green screens. um, when Thor is struggling, when he gets his butt whooped by Hela, and he has the final talk with Odin, but like, I can't do this. It's like, are you Thor, God of hammers?
Yeah.
No,
Oh,
like that scene
perfect.
is that's my favorite scene in the movie. The music in that scene really, really is good,
Yeah.
really good. Chris Hemsworth really like turned it up a notch in this movie.
Yeah.
Like so far, this is the best performance he's given in the MCU. Go ahead, Christian.
You just reminded me. I mean, the same get help scene I think really shows off like Chris Hemsworth depth too. The elevator scene
Mhm.
when he's kind of like almost a bit joking and he still has that lightheartedness to him,
Mhm.
but then he responds in a very sincere way. Loki, I thought the world of you. I thought we were gonna go off and
Oh,
be kings together. And like that hurts because you can tell Thor is still hurt by Loki, all the betrayals, and yet he loves him and he accepts him. Like he's, I finally learned to like this is just the way things are, and if this is the way I have to love you, so be it.
yep.
It's fantastic.
Like it does a fantastic job. And let's see. Next question I got here. Does this film benefit from not really acknowledging the other two films?
Yes. 1,000%.
Because I know we have the scene that is like in the film. Obviously, it was metaphor and stuff. Like Hela comes in and kills the Warriors 3, which is obviously a big problem that people have with the first two Thor movies. She just
Except
goes
for
in.
Sif, right?
Yeah, Sif is not in this movie. I think Sif is supposed to be
Yeah.
in Love and Thunder. So
Yeah.
Hela comes in and kills the Warriors 3. It's like hey, look, we're literally getting rid of the shit that you did not like in the other movies. This is completely different. So, and then they barely mentioned the first movie and the second movie. So I think, Ruben, it sounds like you're pretty much in agreement. Like this movie does
Yeah, I mean,
is
they mentioned Frigga in that first scene where they're all three of them are together, which is kind of like that's the only part of I want to say, is it Dark World? Yeah, right. It's Dark World
Mhm.
that I like. Frigga's scenes are the only,
Yeah.
yeah, but it stings a little when he mentions it, you know. But yes, that is definitely the best move they could have made, where they just ignored the past two movies because it doesn't fit tonally. You know, it's this is yeah, it doesn't fit.
do you
And
have anything
That's
more to add on that, Christian?
no, I think. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Ruben. You have more to say.
no, I was just gonna say, like, I also love the fact that when they're in New York City, and the girls come and ask Thor for a picture, and they
Mhm.
after they pass by and they're like, "We're sorry to hear that Natalie Portman broke up with you," you know, and then he's like, "No, she didn't break up with me. It was mutual." And Loki's
Mutual.
just like, "Okay, sure, whatever you say."
Yeah, because like that, they don't really need to pull from the other movies because they're
Exactly.
almost a little bit like inconsequential. That like they weren't received well, and like we'll just take the important stuff, which is just like that relationships and the dynamic between characters, and
Yeah.
like put them into new situations, and that's what's important. On the note of Frigga, though, you just reminded me. Yeah, that scene rocks because what's his name? Hopkins, Anthony
Yeah, they
Hopkins.
have you.
Odin.
His first line as Odin um, is he giggles and acknowledges Loki first and says, that was a great, not trick, but I'll just say trick for that was
Yeah,
a
yeah,
great
yeah.
trick. Your mother would have been proud, and like I think that's enough validation for me as a viewer to be like, oh man, yeah, Odin does love Loki, and he shows it in just like he's reminding him in always like the smallest ways, like you were a loved kid.
Yeah.
Ah, it rocks.
Now, it's like speaking of like the other two movies, we do get a great recap of Thor: The Dark World told through Matt Damon, Luke Hemsworth.
Oh,
Not Luke Hemsworth. Who was the other one? Was
Liam, was that Liam?
No, it was Luke. Liam is the other one. Okay, so it's Luke
Yeah.
Hemsworth, Matt Damon, Sam Neill. Just great. I love it so much.
That's so funny, dude. I remember
Yeah.
the theater just cracking up at just seeing Matt Damon for no reason.
It was great. It was great.
I love the comics reference. I'm sorry, I turned into a frog. It was a wonderful joke.
Yeah.
The choir singing and Thor just is like, what is happening? And we get possibly the best line delivery in all of the MCU. When Thor goes, "Hello, Father," and Anthony Hawk was, "Oh shit."
Perfect.
The best line delivery. Oh shit.
That's what's so good about this movie, right? It's all those small things that just add up. Like at the beginning when Thor says, "Son of a bitch, you're
Bitch.
still alive."
Good.
Oh man.
Also, shout out again. I already mentioned how they use other MCU heroes to kind of fill in the movie. Shout out Doctor Strange, man. It's so cool just seeing him in this movie just pop up for a few minutes. That's all we need.
And it's just mind fucking Thor.
Yeah.
It's so good. It's so good.
No one's gonna pluck my hair out. And so I'm saying this. I'm just gonna get into it. Is this the funniest MCU movie?
Oh, that's a tough
a hard
question.
Ruben, I'm gonna start with you. Is this the funniest MCU movie?
I don't know. That's. I don't know, Eric. This is a tough one. You're asking.
So for me, it's between this and Guardians 1. I think it's the funniest MCU movie. It's really tough.
I think I'm with you. I think you can probably make the case that this is the funniest MCU movie, but I will also make the case that this one also has some of the most jokes that fall flat. There are so many, like, as a rewatch, there are so many jokes where I'm watching it and it's like, oh, we're doing this too much. Like the whole like sun is getting real low, like I think overstays its welcome. Some of the slapstick where people are just kind of falling. Like I don't like. I guess that's funny. Not for me. Except for the exception is the Mark. I almost said Mark Wahlberg. Mark Ruffalo, Bruce Banner, where he just like falls onto the
Yeah.
So
bridge.
so good.
Always catching me off guard.
Yeah. I would have to say yes. It is. It is the funniest MCU movie. Because
I'm sorry.
no, I was just gonna say just because the other movies have like sprinkled in jokes, but like this was, maybe not. I would have to say Ant-Man might be a close, like they might be
Dude.
tied for number one, just because
I'm
Luis in Ant-Man is
Yeah.
perfect. Yeah.
I'm excited for Ant-Man and the Wasp.
I'm excited for Ant-Man Quantumania. Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania.
Oh, I mean for real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, Evangeline Lilly's last Marvel movie she's gonna do.
Is that what she said?
Probably
oh
good.
no! Oh, you didn't see this, Ruben?
No.
Yeah.
What happened?
Oh yeah, she was like all about like the truckers who were protesting the vaccine mandates and all that stuff. She was like, I was like, oh, Evangeline Lilly, I hope you enjoy your last Marvel paycheck. It's, either way. So yeah, there's so much funniness, and the Doctor Strange part with Loki. Like, I've been falling for 30 minutes.
And then Thor trying to reach for the umbrella, and then just hear glass cracking left and right. Sorry.
And
Oh, yes, Ruben.
I was going to ask a very legitimate question. So we have this Loki who has turned over a new leaf, if we can say that, right? I would say that he's turned over a new leaf in this movie.
I think he is starting to turn and take. Yeah.
Okay, so the question is, who is the better Loki? The Loki in this movie or the Loki in Loki? Like, who has turned more of a leaf?
That is so hard because I really like the way it's like kind of organic here, and it starts from like the two brothers kind of remediating their relationship in the movies, and it's hard to kind of qualify the two because Loki gets way more obviously screen time in the show because it's a TV show all about him. So it's like,
Right.
I can't really tell which one's better because one gets like way more depth and time to kind
Okay.
of flesh it out.
All right, that's
But I
fair.
like the depiction of the brothers
In
more,
this-
if that makes
yeah,
sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like when we get to Infinity War, I think Loki really comes like the arc is done.
Yeah.
Because in like the first movie he's trying to kill Thor, and then literally in the movie before he dies he sacrifices himself for Thor. So like
Yep.
I think. I think movie Loki's is just they're two different beasts. But my go ahead, Christian.
I have a sorry. Is it a where are you going?
I was gonna ask, like, do you sometimes like you kind of mentioned earlier with the jokes fall flat? Does the comedy get in the way of the narrative too much in this movie?
Not at all.
No.
Yeah, I
You
don't
think?
think it does.
Okay.
Which
I think
is definite plus for me.
Mhm.
Like, yes, Christian says that some of the jokes fall flat, but it still doesn't ruin the movie for me.
yeah. I think for what like really defines Phase 3 for me is that they really kind of settled into exploring different genres that they aren't necessarily superhero movies first all the time. Like Thor Ragnarok really went out of its way to prove that it is a kind of almost a comedy first in the superhero genre. I know they were saying Ant-Man and the Wasp is supposed to be like a kind of rom-com. I don't think that worked out as well, but like I started to see those seeds in Phase 3 and specifically with Thor Ragnarok. I think that was the beginning of it's a comedy first, and then that story is told just in the superhero narrative.
Yeah, like real Flash Gordon vibes with this movie.
Mm.
Um,
Mm.
so I also remember one of my and speaking of funny, Chris Hemsworth is hilarious. I think this was like the first movie where it's just like, man, he really is funny. Like he's got great comedic timing. Um, so I also love the one in the beginning where Loki's in the suits. Like I don't know about a witch. Like why are you dressed like one? When he's in like the super real black suit. And then let's see. Next up,
No, before you move on, I can finally bring it up.
what's up?
You asked the question, "Is this the funniest?" I have another question about the movie. Is this the raunchiest one? Because I would say yes. I have no idea. Like when I think Marvel Studios, they almost play it safe a bit sometimes. This one is very much making some crude jokes. I can name like 5 right now.
Name
Let's
'em.
see. We got Hulk ass in this movie.
We
So
got
there's
Hulk
one.
ass, the Devil's anus, the hammer pulled you off, just the whole concept of orgies, and Valkyrie's penis, um,
Oh God, the hammer pulled you off.
the imagery of the penis with the gun.
Oh man.
Yeah. By the way, I think this is Taika inserts himself into all of his movies. This is probably my favorite.
Yes.
Taika's
Yes.
Korg
Oh,
is
I have a
awesome.
note. I have a
No.
note for here. Let's just.
I had to say
What?
Jojo Rabbit is probably my favorite, but that's neither here nor there.
Oh, sure, I forgot about it. Yeah.
And so let's just get into like the star of the show, really, Korg. What a great addition to the MCU.
Oh,
Oh my God.
but
Perfect.
yeah, New Zealand humor just works like as a supplementary to everything else. It's so awesome.
Korg made of rocks. You don't have to worry about me unless you're made of scissors. Haha, that was a rock paper scissors joke. Is
And just Meek chilling next to him.
it's so
Didn't print
good.
enough pamphlets.
But let's not forget that this Korg character gives us hope for a future Fantastic Four movie. You know, where we finally see the Thing. Because is the Thing not one of these people?
Nope.
But if you know
I
what I
don't
mean, you know what I
think
mean.
so.
No,
No,
I thought
No.
that was a whole thing.
is
where
it? As this is an alien race.
Yes,
It's like
I
that,
understand
so
that. I understand. that.
I've said like Ben got his powers from cosmic rays that just
Right,
made his
right.
skin rocky. So
Okay.
it's not.
Okay.
What a shitty power.
It's a really shitty
I mean, if you're as strong as the Hulk, I don't know if that's a shitty
Yeah, but
power.
I mean, come on. And like with the Silver Surfer, like there's like a whole like a subplot of him just being depressed at his whole appearance. Come on.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's just that interpretation. Like some of it though, like he's really happy to be like this. Like he's different and stuff. If I looked like the Thing, yeah, it would take some getting used to. But then I realized that yes, I am as strong as the Hulk. I'm indestructible.
His
There are
name
pros
is
and
the
cons.
Thing.
Yeah.
Mhm. And he's an important member of the Fantastic Four. Possibly
It's
he's
just
the heart of the family.
might as well be
Or
called
The
fucking
Rock.
Noun.
Or the Rock.
The Rock.
Oh my God. Either, yes. But yeah, Korg is so great. Just so funny. And
God damn, it pulled you off. That's so funny, dude.
it's weird unless you're fighting 3 vampires at once and you stab them.
The Fork? Yeah.
And yeah, Christian was right earlier when he was telling the story, just like, oh god, the hammer pulled you off. Sounds like you had an intimate relationship with this hammer, and therefore losing it was like losing a loved one. So
Damn,
good.
your recollection of these lines is pretty impressive.
So good. So yeah, Korg is great. And then also another star, Jeff freaking Goldblum.
Amazing.
What?
So
What?
fucking good in this
I
movie.
feel like Jeff Goldblum is at his Jeff Goldblumiest in this movie.
Just show up, Jeff. We're not even gonna give you a script. Just show up and just do whatever.
Yeah.
There's a line in the movie where he just stops talking. He just didn't finish his line, and yeah, it fits so good in Thor Ragnarok. Like I buy it. He just stops.
Oh man.
Also,
And
that whole scene of meeting, what's his name? Is he the master, right?
the Grandmaster, yeah.
You're about to meet the Grandmaster. You're now meeting the Grandmaster, and it's just Thor screaming, and it's hard cut to the room. It fucking rocks.
And then when it's like, oh, and he vaporizes, and I think that was the first one where I knew Chris Hemsworth had the acting job. I was like, oh my god!
Yeah.
And then just the Loki line. It's like, Loki! It's like, I've never met this man before in my life.
Oh, perfect. Perfect.
So good.
We're brothers, adopted.
Then there's just so many funny lines in this, especially like in the gladiatorial arena when Hulk does the move to Thor and Loki gets up. That's how it feels. I'm just a huge fan of the sport. It's just so good. Jeff Goldblum. What's your favorite Jeff Goldblum moment in this movie, Ruben?
I would have to say the introduction where he's just like, I can't recall it specifically, but it Jeff Goldblum in anything is just perfect. You know, like the I don't remember. It's definitely the introduction scene where we find out that he's the Grandmaster.
Mm-hmm. And it's basically like doing DJ while he's introducing himself.
That is one of my favorites. Yeah, he starts playing his little instruments. Yeah, but I think my favorite is when he just stops talking. It's just too good.
I love the one in the post credit. Oh, go ahead.
No, go you please, and then I'll say my next.
As like, I love the post credit scene where he comes out of his ship and everyone's like trying to find him. Like, wow, congratulations, everyone. Yeah, just like if you're doing a revolution, you need someone to revolution against. So yeah, I will take that honor with flying colors. Yay, me, go team. So I thought that was my favorite moment.
I like the ending of that. So he says, and it's a tie, and that's it. That's the end of the post credit scene. I remember my other favorite Jeff Goldblum scene. When Valkyrie touches his shoulder, and then he like kind of smiles and then like makes a little ooh, you know, like he's like kind of swoons. Yeah, it's so good.
And then I have my other note here. Another great moment. This is like when Hulk pushes the button, and it's my birthday. So good. I would actually get into some other non-funny stuff to talk about here. There are a lot of beautiful shots in this movie from a cinematography standpoint. And I have here like the Valkyrie Hela fight scene in the flashback. Brand new technology in that scene, never before used ever before until that scene, and it was beautiful. There were so many where you could take shots of this movie and they are paintings. Like the first one I remember is when Thor's flying away from the dragon. Like that shot. Like how small Thor is compared to the dragon, really beautiful.
Perfect.
I think what are some other beautiful ones? Obviously the Hela fight. Oh my god, I'm drawing a blank. Really drawing a blank. Either way, a lot of beautiful shots. So go ahead, Chris.
Even just the ones that aren't like kind of picturesque, because I do agree with you. That's one of the reasons why I think the trailer rocks so hard, because they got to show off a lot of these shots with just like, you know, cool music. Shout out Mark Morsba. But just like the every shot of like just the normal shots of like what's going on in the city or of people walking around in it. Are still like so wonderful because like there's color everywhere, which is you don't see that in the other MCU movies quite as much. Maybe you do now, but back then not as much. It's really not the other Thor movies. The other Thor movies were like gray and brown, but this one is like it is so much colorful. Like the costumes are like super unique. The set design is just like absolutely out of this world, literally.
Yeah.
Yeah, it fucking rocks.
Just the shot of Hulk and Thor. If I remember correctly, they're on the ledge, and he's just saying the sun's getting real low, buddy. And trying to get him to turn into Bruce
Mm-hmm.
is just. It looks pretty. You know? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, great.
Yeah, especially love like in the Hulk parade, all the green looks really good, and like offset with like the red buildings and everything, and all. A lot of use of practical effects in this movie too, with a lot of the aliens on Sakaar, which I thought was really good, really cool.
I remember the other scene you may have been thinking about, Eric. Was it when Thor gets his powers back and it jumps back
That sh-
onto the Rainbow
that
Bridge?
shot,
Yeah,
yeah.
the slow-mo. Led Zeppelin plays again. Yeah.
And so going into that perfect segue, Hela. I can't believe we haven't talked about Hela yet. Kate Blanchett coming into the MCU and makes a statement. Like, especially first scene right out of the gate, just destroys Mjolnir. And I remember in the trailer, they cut it to where it was in an alleyway or something like that. And it
Yeah.
wasn't actually in Norway, I think, wherever they
Yep.
went to.
Yeah.
Yeah, she just really
Stole the show.
takes command everything
Yeah.
she's in.
My thing about Hela is that she probably could have been like a very average middle tier kind of villain. And you can make the case that she probably is, but if it weren't for Kate Blanchett's absolutely dominant performance, like it wouldn't have been as good. Kate Blanchett stole, yeah, Ruben is right. She stole the show as Hela. It was incredible.
Yeah.
I think you're right there. I think Hela, but like she just wanted power and stuff again. I think it's very bleh. But like Kate Blanchett really does, like, especially when like she comes in and then they're like, we don't know who you are. Were you not just listening to what I said just a little while ago? She does such good work. Ruben, you look like you were about to say something.
No, I was just gonna say, like, I guess the best comparison to make between Hela and I guess it's kind of hard to make the same comparison, but Hela and Loki from Thor 1, they're the same villain, but
Sure.
it's just completely different. And obviously, like I said before, it's due to the tonal differentiations in the movie. But like, Kate Blanchett literally steals the show.
I mean, you're
Every
right there.
scene
Like,
she's in.
they both deal with abandonment in some kind.
Mm-hmm.
Like Loki was abandoned by Odin, kind of because Thor got everything, and then this one, like, she literally just did whatever he said, what Odin said, and like she got too big for her britches, and then Odin locked her away. I think, yeah, you make an excellent point right there, Ruben. I think, okay, I see Hela in a new light now. Thank you for saying that.
Did you have her a little lower? Like, I just thought of her a little oh yeah.
Yeah,
Which is
a little-
which is very valid.
like,
Yeah.
I think this, like, story wise, I think she's very below average, but it's just that
Yeah.
performance that elevates it.
Yeah, for
She
sure.
like, she has that badass line when after she takes his eye out, like, oh, now you look like dad. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
By the way,
Hmm.
because in the trailers they obviously hit it. Like like we saw Thor with two eyes glowing because he got his powers, but in the movie, like he gets his eye cut out. Isn't that
Yep.
kind of crazy?
Yep.
You remember being in the theater for that? Like, whoa, he's got an
Yeah.
eye patch now.
Yep.
Damn.
I
Shirtless Thor, by the way.
he was pretty.
Damn.
He's large.
He was
He's
cut.
a large man.
Yeah.
That was another line I remember, like, a Valkyrie. I wanted to be a Valkyrie. Not that, like, you're all women. I love women. That's sometimes a little too much. So,
I can't believe we didn't talk about Tessa Thompson as Valkyrie.
I got her next up.
Yeah.
So another new person into the movie. Obviously, it's Tessa Thompson's Valkyrie. What did we think about her? Christian, I'm gonna start with you this time. What did you think about Valkyrie?
Yeah, when I was thinking about kind of the jokes that fall flat, I think one of the things I think of is Valkyrie falling off her ship. Like, that just kind of slapstick humor didn't work for me. And like, but after that, every time she kind of spoke, she would grow on me more and more to the point where like she finally gets like her shot at redemption and she becomes like reaffirms herself as Valkyrie. I'm so in because her charisma with anyone on screen, especially Hulk, which just happens kind of like in the periphery of whatever's going on with
Yeah.
Thor, is phenomenal. Like she works so well with all of these guys, and when they're all in the same room together and they're just kind of jiving with one another, yeah, she fits right in. Tessa Thompson just rocks, and another just strong figure in general.
I did like her and Bruce going, I think I know you from somewhere.
Especially when Bruce just like jumps off of the ship and he's like, "You really want to know who I am? Here's who I am," and he just falls flat on his face.
Also, like, come on, like they're all going to the devil's anus, and she just jump from ship to ship, and it's like this fucking rocks. This is what a cool chase scene. And Thor's like, I guess I should go help her, and goes off with her. Like, it's so cool.
So Ruben, what do you think?
I have a problem with Tessa Thompson in general. I don't find her to be a great actress. However, that being said, she kicked ass in this movie. She was phenomenal. I was very blown away. It's kind of like Christian said. She started out, and I was like, okay, this is kind of, I don't really like this character. But she grows on you, and it's great, especially when she comes in at the end and just starts kicking ass.
Yeah, I think it's a great introduction for her. So definitely gonna see more of her in Love and Thunder. So
Yep.
we'll see
I'm
that
excited. Supposedly, she's might have a relationship with Jane Foster.
Yeah,
goes. Okay.
it's gonna be
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah. Let's see. We got one more new introduction. We got Carl Urban as Scourge, which I thought was fun. I thought I had a great time. It's like just the magical land of Texas, and I was like, oh, this is so good. I thought he was fun. He didn't really provide anything other than just he was just Carl Urban having fun doing the shake weight. So,
That was the thing for me too. I didn't quite care for Carl Urban in this movie either, but like when he was on, when it was funny, it's funny, and when it's not, like, oh well, who cares? We move on pretty quickly after that anyway.
I think for me, it was the character design where he just has a shaved head. I'm used to Carl Urban having that nice piece of hair on his head. But like, yeah, it's kind of like Christian said. It was okay, lackluster for me in every scene.
I did enjoy when he actually literally runs to the palace and he says, "My lord."
Yeah.
That was a
Thor,
good one. That was a good
You had
one.
one job.
And also at the end where he just like betrays
Hela.
Hela is probably one
Yeah.
of the good.
I thought that
With the
was
guns.
good.
Yeah.
The
Not an
infinite ammo
addition.
guns there. I don't
yeah.
know how big those magazines are, but
Maybe it's an extended
Asgardian.
clip. Yeah.
It's Asgardian.
either
You
way.
never know.
Not
go ahead.
not an addition, but my favorite depiction of this character happens in Thor Ragnarok, which is Idris Elba, as I'm forgetting his name, but very
Heimdall.
cool. Give him Heimdall, yeah. He had something more to do. It was very cool to see him like protect all of Asgard.
Yes. Yeah.
Also, him with long hair just rocks. Very cool decision.
It again, I keep saying this, but it brings more to the table than just, yeah, I stand here and I watch over the nine realms.
Yeah.
That's it.
I did enjoy the badass thing, like when Hela went to go try to find the Asgardian people, and Thor just like bangs the thing in the throne room, and then sound echoes. I thought that was a good job.
And
Man.
I would
Do
have
we
to
have it? Go ahead, Ruben.
I was just gonna say, going back to Heimdall, is just when Loki comes back, and he's like, "Your hero has arrived," or something like that. He's like, "I saw you coming. I saw you coming." Of course. You did.
So, do we have any other thoughts on this movie before I give my controversial take on this movie?
I'm ready to hear it. Oh, sorry.
I do want to say, like, this movie could have used a little less Led Zeppelin.
It's just twice.
And there we go into my controversial take.
One
It should
too
not
many.
have been used in the very beginning. I think it
should
would have hit a
not.
lot. It would have hit a lot harder if it was just at the end. If it was
Yes.
just at the end,
I
it would have
agree.
been greater.
Yeah.
But they use it twice, and it loses.
I'm sorry,
loses
Eric.
its
I didn't
meaning.
realize this was your
It's
controversial
okay.
take.
It's okay. Because a lot of people love that song. It's
Yeah,
a
it
lot
was
of people's,
just too much.
a lot of people's favorite moment in the MCU when Thor comes down.
Yeah.
The song, and many people think it would have been better in Infinity War if Immigrant Song had been playing when Thor comes down.
Yeah.
But
Didn't
No,
people
not for the
also-
tone of that scene. It would
Yeah.
not have worked.
so either way, that's my controversial take. They used it one too many times.
Yeah.
But
So, any other last
Aside
thoughts?
aside from the use of Led Zeppelin in the beginning, though, can we admit that the opening scene does still rock? Like
Yeah.
what a different way to see Thor fighting when the dragon is spitting fire at him and he's spinning it, and he's like, you can see like he's like almost like burning because it's like so hot, but he's like just holding it back. It's so cool.
And the
The
shot
tracking
of
shot of the hammer.
the tracking shot of Mjolnir, I thought
Yeah.
that was really neat.
Really cool.
Yeah.
And then it stops, and then he's like, "Oh, I want you back."
When it comes back. Yeah.
So,
Cool
all right.
movie.
Any final thoughts? I'm gonna start with you, Ruben. Any final thoughts on this movie?
Listen, I guess if Hela doesn't get higher than a fucking 7 on this ranking the villains list, I swear to God, I will quit this show. All right.
I wouldn't.
Higher
hold
than
on
what?
to
I'm
it.
sorry?
I
Let's
said
try one
higher
to
than
look
at least between
I've-
7 and 8. All right, 7 and 9, 7 and 9. Okay, 7 and 9. Between 7 and 9. If she doesn't get higher than that, I will lose it. All right.
Ruben.
You may want to get your high blood pressure medicine ready,
Ruben. I got you, homie.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Christian, you got any final thoughts on that?
Yeah. Aside from minor complaints about some pacing issues and just some jokes that overstay their welcome, I think this is probably like one of the greater MCU movies. Taika Waititi really was in his element for this. Really changed how we think of Thor moving forward for way better, and kind of paved the way for what we expect for Marvel movies in terms of trying new things and kind of establishing themselves as like individual pieces. So for that, I think Thor Ragnarok is well in its element and deserves to be hopefully in contention for at least being a top 10 MCU movie, according to our list.
Ruben, did you have another thought?
I'll say it after you're done.
Okay. Like I said, I think this is a perfect start for a new arc for Thor, especially when we get to Infinity War and Endgame. So I thought this was great. Good step in the right direction. Some, like Christian said earlier, some jokes fall flat, but this is a very fun movie. This is what like MCU is really strong at. Like they make fun popcorn movies with heart. And I think those are where it's
Sorry.
at. That's what they're really good at. Fun adventure movies with a lot of heart. So Ruben, what's your final thought? Or
It's-
did you burp it? Did you say it when you
No,
burped
it's
there?
more of a question. So, let's say, Thor Love and Thunder is the last movie in the Thor series, What is the next character you give Taika Waititi?
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good question.
And why is it Nova?
I can answer it. Oh,
Just
I don't know anything about Nova, so I'm sorry.
Just a badass. He's just the badass. That's all you need to know.
I would say none for now because I wanted to see him finish that soccer movie that he's been wanting to make for a while, and he's signed on for a lot of projects. Otherwise, I don't care if he doesn't have a Marvel movie. I'd be 100% in because he rocks.
I would like to see Taika Waititi do a Deadpool. See what he does with that.
Oh, you're on to something there.
Okay, I think it
Let him
would
do-
work
let him do
perfectly.
Deadpool 3. I
And,
think
you
that'd be
know,
really good.
They did do that crossover commercial with Corgan and Deadpool.
True.
So yeah, I could see it.
That's true. I think in Deadpool, I think that will improve because I think Deadpool 1 is a good movie. Deadpool 2, eh. So I think Deadpool 3, helmed by Taika Waititi, I think that could be really fun.
I think Deadpool
Especially-
1 is an okay movie. It's a mediocre movie. Just 'cause I
Yeah,
think the
I'm
hype
with you there.
the hype was too real for
I-
Ryan Reynolds to.
Yeah,
find
I
it.
appreciate the smaller scope of Deadpool 1. I think that's where its strength
Okay.
lied. Deadpool 2 just does too much.
Yeah, too many X-Men.
Was Thor Ragnarok around the time when they released that YouTube short with where was Thor during Civil War? And it's of him like living in an apartment with some normal dude. You guys remember that?
Yeah, I do.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think I think that was in the summer of 2016, like a few months after Civil War came out.
Was
So,
it the same guy that like is in the commercial with Anthony Mackie as the Apple attendant?
No, I
Okay,
think that's a
all right,
different dude.
guy. Okay.
Well, no. So there was the dude who played the Apple guy in
Yeah.
Winter Soldier, who was in a commercial with Anthony Mackie.
Yes, who
dude,
was also the guy that he yelled at while Korg was
okay.
playing games in Infinity War.
Either way,
No,
Pissed off
Endgame.
Ghost.
Sorry.
okay. So who knows?
Okay. Sorry.
All right. So with all that, it's time to get into some rankings here. So Ruben, take it away.
Okay, everyone, it is time for us to rank the Stanley cameos. Let me put it up.
We're
Give me
getting so
s-
close to the end here, and I'm not looking forward to that.
I'm not looking forward to it either. It sucks. It really sucks. Okay. So, again, I'm just gonna do top 5, just because
Yeah.
the list is on the screen. Okay. Number 1 is Avengers: Age of Ultron.
Whoa, you start with number 1. You got to
My
start with number
apologies.
5,
My
man.
apologies. My apologies. Number 5 is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. The man annoying the Watchers on a planet. Who's to say he is a Watcher? We don't really know. Number 4, Avengers: Superheroes in New York. Give me a break. The old man playing chess in the park in the news segment. God, I love myself. Number 3, Thor: Pickup truck guy trying to lift a hammer, looking back and asking, "Did I get it?" Of course, number 2, he is the man screaming from the top of the, not the top, from the apartment building, yelling at Spider-Man Homecoming, yelling at Spider-Man in Spider-Man Homecoming. I forgot to name the movie, because he thinks Spider-Man is trying to steal a car. And of course, number 1 is Avengers: Age of Ultron, the World War II vet that gets super hammered at the Avengers party and says Excelsior. Now, of course, in Thor Ragnarok, he is the guy that gives Thor a glow up. If we could also, did I say
Yep.
this correctly? Did I say this correctly? This is
Yeah,
a-
the haircut rocks.
This is a millennial
Yep.
term. I don't know if I used it correctly.
Ruben,
You are a millennial.
You were 26 years old, Ruben. 27, whatever, however many old
I am
years you
28
are.
years old right now.
You're 28. You
Yes.
Gen Z Euphoria watching.
I haven't watched
funny.
season 2 of Euphoria yet, so let's suck it
I think
in.
it's very important that we talk about how this character does give Chris Hemsworth a glow up. Because let me say this: Tessa did not think Chris Hemsworth was all that that big of a looker with the wig on, but he gets the short hair, and now
All of a sudden-
Chris Hemsworth is in our top 10 right now, top 5 even.
Whoa.
So yeah, I think that's a big boost for this. Not plus the physical comedy of him having all the
Exactly.
stuff.
Yeah.
My
So
hands aren't what they used to be.
I would say that this is probably better, for me personally, I think better than Ant-Man as the bartender in Luis's story. But not as as great as the White House Medal of Honor commentator who says, "I thought he'd be taller in Captain America: The First Avenger."
You do love that one, don't you?
It's so good. It's so good.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say this is our new number 9.
Okay.
Who agrees? Who
Eric, what say
disagrees?
you?
I can agree with that because I'm thinking about it, and Guardians 2 gave us the Watchers, which was a big deal. I enjoyed
Yeah.
Tony Stank and how it was part of it because Rhodey talks to him again, and then I think that's a good one. I think number 9's a good one.
Okay.
I think
Oh,
What
sorry.
about you, Christian?
no, keep typing because I think personally I'd go a little higher, but for the sake of the list, I think that's probably a perfect spot for it anyway. I think it's really good.
Because I think I have some nostalgia for hearing Ruben laugh every time he tries to
I-
say the first Avenger one.
Same. Yeah.
Every time.
It's
I don't
so
know what
good.
it is.
It's
He
so
says those
good.
words all the time, and every time I thought he'd be taller. and
It's so
flatter."
good. Come on, like what a great line, What a great line. So, it's official. It's our new number.
Yeah.
Number 9.
Number 9.
Okay, so we have here. Can somebody read off the list while I update the list?
What do you
I
want
guess-
from?
Top 10.
Oh, you changed that
Just-
list. Got
yeah.
it.
Okay.
I'm changing. Yeah, I'm changing the list on the screen.
Okay. All right. All right. Number 10, Ant-Man, bartender in Louise's story. Number 9, Thor Ragnarok, man giving Thor a haircut. Number 8, Captain America: The First Avenger, the White House Medal of Honor commentator who thought he'd be taller. Number 7, the Winter Soldier, Smithsonian security guard who was going to lose his job because Cap stole his uniform back. Number 6, Civil War, Tony Stank, FedEx driver. Number 5, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, annoying the Watchers on the planet. Number 4, The Avengers, superheroes in New York, give me a break. Number 3, Thor, the pickup truck guy who
It's
asked,
not-
did he get it?
Yeah,
Number
it's
2,
not that easy.
Spider-Man Homecoming, the old guy from the apartment building who says, get away from him, you punk. And number 1, Age of Ultron, the World War II vet who says Excelsior after getting hammered. So
Eric, by the way, we took trivia quizzes last week on the show,
Mhm.
and let me just tell you, I whooped Ruben's ass at MCU trivia.
Okay.
He's a
What?
casual fan. You were a casual fan.
We got the same
answered more questions
score.
correctly. Answer more questions correctly. What are you talking about? Yeah.
We got the same score. You answered
you really?
one more correctly. Yes, we got the
Oh,
same.
and there you go.
ranking.
There you go.
I'm
Is that not
excited.
better?
Because last week we went to go see Uncharted, which you should all see. It's
Yeah.
very fun.
I'm
I
watching it
have
this
yet
week,
to.
hopefully.
I have yet to see.
Unfarted.
I have yet to watch the episode yet, so I'm going to watch it while I do stuff in Horizon. That's not the main story, so I'm excited.
There we go.
All right, we have our new Stanley cameo rankings. It's so sad we only got
Stop.
Let's see.
Don't say it. Don't say it. Don't say it. Don't
We
say
got-
it. I'm gonna,
we got
I'm
4
gonna
more
start
left.
crying. What the hell? I just said don't say it.
He just said, "Don't say it."
We have 4
I
more.
just said don't say it. I'm gonna get sad. All right.
All right. Now, everyone, like we always say here, what good are heroes without some good villains? And it's time to rank the villains of the MCU. We're going to start with the 5 here. Number 5, Mysterio from Spider-Man Far From Home. Number 4, Green Goblin from Spider-Man No Way Home. Number 3, Wenwu from Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. Number 2, Baron Zemo from Civil War. And number 1, the Vulture from Spider-Man Homecoming. Man, Spidey just like locking up the top
Dominating,
5.
right?
As it should. As it
Top
should.
5.
Yeah, good reason. John Watts writes some great villains.
Yeah. So, all right, where are we putting Hela? Because I wouldn't consider Scourge. Like he had like conflicts and stuff with it the whole time. I think we can all
Scourge?
can be. Yes. Do we think Scourge like Hela / Scourge?
You're including Carl Urban in this?
Yeah, that's why I'm asking here.
No,
Okay.
absolutely
Okay.
not. No,
Alright.
he gets his redemption at the end.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. Just making sure we're clear here for the list.
How
So
dare you,
where
sir.
where are we putting Hela on this list?
Listen. I think I'm gonna go ride or die with Ruben and say this is Hela. Partly because of Kate Blanchett's tremendous performance as her, deserves to be in the top 10. As to where, probably not top 5. I'd say somewhere between 6 and 10, right? And if I'm looking, honestly, I think Hela is much more charismatic and memorable than definitely than Red Skull or Taskmaster. So now I'm looking at least the new number 9. And honestly, I would go. I would do right by Ruben and say it's right between the two Lokis. The new number 8, Hela.
So here's my problem with that.
Okay.
I think Hela was pretty one-dimensional. She's angry, she wants power back. That's pretty much it. Just get back at Odin. Whereas, Loki and Thor had some real like 3 dimensions to him, especially like the scene where he goes to New Mexico and tells Thor that, hey man, it's all your fault. All this is happening. Like Dad died because of you. And I'm like, oh man, that's some strong villain stuff right there. And then, adding to the fact that, Ruben, you're distracting me right now. You're distracting me.
All right.
Why is Hela better than Loki and Thor, Ruben? This is your platform now.
It's like I said before. They are the same character, but she does it better. She is angry for a legitimate reason, not because my brother is getting the throne and I want it. She's angry because her father casted her out for no reason after she was literally the poster child of what he wanted, and he would one day changed his mind and was like, you know what, I don't think we need to be killers anymore.
The thing for me, and I'll even back you up, Ruben, is that Thor's identity crisis comes from him being banished by Odin, right? It doesn't stem from anything that's going on with Loki. It's all about the way Odin sees Thor. Thor's identity crisis in Thor Ragnarok comes precisely because of the way Hela comes in and challenges Thor right after the death of Odin and destroys who he thinks of himself fundamentally.
And
That
also,
shot of breaking the hammer like alone.
and also destroys of what his I guess the thought of what his father who his father was. You know, originally in the first Thor movie he thinks his father was like, yeah, bringing down the hammer, literally, not literally, but you get what I'm saying, bringing
Sure.
down the hammer and being this badass warlord, essentially, so to speak. But at the end of this movie, I guess in the beginning of this movie, he sees his father differently because of the experiences he's had throughout the MCU up until this movie, where he no longer sees that he has to lay down the law. It's more of protecting the people that are the Asgardians.
All right, Ruben. You know what?
Fuck yeah.
You convinced me.
And you know what? I would even
I
go
can't
as
go
far.
higher than 8. I couldn't go higher than 8.
All right.
I can't. Like Loki and Avengers is something else, man.
It's not. He's just the same character.
Yeah, I mean I agree with you, Ruben, but he is the reason why the Avengers come together. Which merits pretty high up, you know what I mean?
Okay. All right.
I will admit it's better than Thor Loki, but like Avengers Loki,
All right.
real good, man.
All right. One of
Hey,
these days,
this could have been way worse, Ruben.
One of these days, you know.
Like me personally, this would have been around like 12 to 15.
You're insane.
So,
Don't ever say it, I'll back you up, Ruben.
I appreciate that, Christian. Thank you very much.
all right, we have our new number 8, Hela from Thor Ragnarok. So, Ruben's very excited. I'm going to do the top 10 here to recap. Ruben's very excited because this is the last time that Taskmaster / Dreykov will be in the top 10 for Marvel Villains.
It's not
Yeah,
even
you're
that.
right.
It's just like
Number 10,
Taskmaster.
Taskmaster / Dreykov from Black Widow. Number 9, Loki from Thor. Number 8, Hela from Thor Ragnarok. Number 7, Loki from the Avengers. Number 6, the Winter Soldier from Captain America: The Winter Soldier. Number 5, Mysterio from Far From Home. Number 4, Green Goblin from Spider-Man: No Way Home. Number 3, Wenwu from Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. Number 2, Baron Zemo from Civil War. And number 1, Vulture from Spider-Man: Homecoming. Some might say we may have a new number 1 next week, or next movie. Some may say.
I would be some people.
We are definitely going to have a new number 1 within the next 2 movies. I will say that. So
Yeah.
you may have to tune in.
Yeah.
There's going to be some shaking up in the villains ranking in the next few weeks. So definitely stay tuned to that.
Speaking of shaking things up, it's time to induce Ragnarok into the ranking of the Marvel movies. All right, we got there. I segued.
It worked. It
We were
worked.
well enough.
You got it.
I'm gonna do because I still think there's a potential that this is a new top 10 movie. I'm gonna say the whole top 10 now as well.
Okay.
Number 10, Ant-Man. Number 9, Captain America 1. Number 8, The Avengers. Number 7, Guardians of the Galaxy. Number 6, Shang-Chi. Number 5, Spider-Man: Homecoming. Number 4, Spider-Man: Far From Home. Number 3, Captain America: The Winter Soldier. Number 2, Civil War. And number 1, Spider-Man: No Way Home. Start with Eric.
All right.
It's hard.
It's really hard.
It's not.
If I look at it's pretty difficult, Ruben, because I have to balance out. This movie does a lot of things for Thor. It's really good for Thor. They puts him in a really good place. I mean, for like 5 seconds before the end credit scene of Thor Ragnarok comes. But good God, did they make Captain America awesome and Captain America: The First Avenger? I don't know if I think Thor Ragnarok is a better movie than Captain America: The First Avenger.
Wow. Okay.
Like I think Thor Ragnarok is awesome, but like the first 2/3 of Captain America: First Avenger are incredible.
Yes.
I don't think it's better than the Avengers. I think Avengers is, this is a weird thing. I'm seeing this on Twitter. Revisionist film Twitter. It's a wonderful thing. When people try to say like the Fantastic Four movies were actually great, we didn't deserve them. First off, hush. Like the thing for this week is that apparently people think that the first Avengers movie, like, how did we get hyped for that? And it was bad. I'm like, no, the first Avengers movie.
Was perfect.
It is a bad movie.
It is a bad movie,
let's be
but
real.
it was perfect at the time.
The final third is why that movie's so good.
Yeah.
I think the Avengers is an excellent movie. Now, does it have legacy problems now because of Joss Whedon? Of course it does. But I think the Avengers is an outstanding movie. But for me personally, right here, Thor: Love and Thunder, Thor Ragnarok, I have as our new number 10. I have it over Ant-Man.
Wow.
So for me, it's number 10.
Ruben, it's a little low.
It is very low for me. So I am gonna go here and just say it. I'm just gonna get it out and say it. I think this movie is definitely better than Guardians, but it could be better than Shang-Chi in the sense of the comedy aspect. However, I think Shang-Chi had better fighting, if that makes sense. Like
That makes sense.
yeah. So it's my new number 7.
Okay. All right.
It's definitely very low, Eric. I don't understand how you live with
Number
yourself.
7. I am right in between you two. I think
Hell yeah.
over Guardians is a bit too high. One low. I think it's better than the Avengers from start to finish. I think I have it as the new number 8.
All right. So we have a new number 7, a new number 8, and a new number 10.
I can go with number 8. I'm fine
There's
with
the
that.
way. Okay.
All right. All right.
What I did was also did an average in case you wanted to do the average.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot that's what we were
Which
saying.
would also.
Okay.
Better.
I am. You know what? I don't hate 8. I have my personal ranking, but for the sake of this, like I could do 8.
What was just out of curiosity, what was the average?
8.33333.
Yeah, baby.
So
Okay.
I can do new number 8.
Okay. So, is it official?
Yeah.
It is official.
Okay.
Thor Ragnarok taking number 8 spot.
Okay.
Very cool. That's very exciting.
Boom. There it is. I'm running out of space,
Ant-Man.
guys. I'm running out of space.
Well, we only got like a few more movies left.
Yeah, but what are the rest of the 20 Marvel movies that are in production? You know?
What you could do is just put that on a different screen and just, whenever we're going to put the names as a ranking, we just go to that screen. You could still hear us, but not see us. Just
Gotcha. Okay. All right. I could do that. Yeah, that makes sense.
All right.
All right.
All right, there it is, everyone. We have a new member of the top 10, Thor Ragnarok. Real comeback story, specifically since the first 2 Thor movies are in our bottom 3.
Yeah.
So Thor is in very good hands right now. All right, it's time to get to those plugs. Christian, we'll start with you first. What do you like to plug?
Yeah, speaking of Uncharted, you can find... Well, I introduced that segue way too early. You can follow me at IsoChristian over on Twitter while I talk about all the things that I'm currently doing, like playing Elden Ring, but also my other projects like my movie podcast. And speaking of Uncharted, we did a bonus.
I was about to do the theme, so give some.
We did a bonus episode this month where Aaron Cini came on and we talked about the movie Uncharted, and we talked about like our legacy with the games and how we thought the games translated into film. It's a very fun episode. And then I do a weekly gaming show every Wednesday at Podcast PXN. And then, of course, everything I do here for this channel at The Penultimate Conquest. You can find that on YouTube. Look forward to a new video coming. Again, the new video I'm doing, less kind of...
Video gaming?
It's less... What?
Less video gaming?
It is less video gaming, but less like kind of learning. It's more entertainment. Like this is just like a very kind of... Almost like it's a listicle.
Okay,
So-
that's fine.
I think that was a rapper in the 90s.
Listicle.
Listicle.
Ruben, what you got?
So, you could find me, of course, on all the social medias at That Guy Tuesday. You can find the channels social. I was gonna say the channel's channel. The channel's social. It's listed below. It should be listed. No, it's not listed below. Pen Conquest on Twitter. I believe I changed the Instagram to the Penultimate Conquest, and as well as TikTok, which I haven't gotten around to at all. Listen, man. Yeah, that's all I got to say. We do have some new merch on the store, penultimateconquest.com/merch. So go check those out. It's pretty good stuff. Pretty good stuff. That's all I got.
Definitely check that out. I am Eric C. Ginn on Twitter. Like I said, I'm in the middle of Horizon right now. Gonna have that typed out. I'm doing a written review, so Christian's got those awesome, super awesome video editing skills. I'm just gonna write. That's what I'm gonna do.
That's fine.
So, let's see. Other than that, oh, got Batman coming out Friday, which I was wondering, what if we took a special Marvel Mondays episode and DCify it for 1 week to review the Batman.
That's crazy. I don't know how I feel about that. We could probably do a cross media show on Sunday.
I would say cross media.
Okay.
All right. If you're up for it.
Okay, we'll see. We'll see how that goes.
Shaking things up, this guy.
Thought we'd just have a special episode break into the multiverse here with different things. So anyway, yeah. Again, we're in like this weird period right now where we got Moon Knight in a month. So like going forward, we may have a fireside chat. We may take a week off. Who really knows? We talk with each other to see what we're gonna do. The next movie we are going to be reviewing is Black Panther. I'm really excited to review that one. That's going to be a fun one to talk about. So that may be next week's episode. It may be 2 weeks from now. Who knows? I know in this next 2 months, I would like to get my brother on for a fireside chat.
Oh my
Because he's a
Nice.
big Doctor Strange fan. And he is going to tell us all about the Sorcerer Supreme and why he's excited for Multiverse of Madness and where we think we're going to go with that one.
Is this going to be on the same screen, or are you guys going to be Discording it?
We Discord.
Okay. So I'm very interested to see
What?
the Ginn brothers on screen together.
Yeah.
It'll be a fun one. We'll see how that goes. Other than that, please stay tuned here on this channel. Like, follow, subscribe, whatever you gotta do. 'Cause we got a lot of cool stuff coming this year. We got a lot of cool game reviews coming out. Christian's doing all his wonderful stuff with videos. Ruben's got his streams going on. So stay tuned here because, come Moon Knight and stuff, we're going to get into the real nitty gritty of Marvel stuff. And very excited for that. We're going to have guests back on the show to talk Moon Knight.
Nittiest of grittiest.
Nittiest of gritties. So other than that, that's all we have here for today. We hope we see you next time here on the Marvel Mondays Initiative. And until next time, Excelsior.
Excelsior.
I said next time twice. My bad, Ruben.
That's okay.
Yeah, that's so bad.
Eric, it's totally
it was
fine.
such a blunder. Such
It's
a blunder.
fine. It's not that big of a deal.